The primary identity that we will be managing as part of Azure Active Directory is the user account. Now, the user account is typically assigned to a person, an employee, a user in your organization, but it can also be assigned to an object, such as a projector, or assigned to a room in order to manage space. A user account really is used to provide access to that entity, that user or that resource, to various other resources in our organization. If you see here under my tenant, you'll see that it says that I have 252 users. I do have 252 user accounts, but they are not all users that I created inside of my tenant. There are two primary types of users in my tenant. They are member users, those that I explicitly created in my tenant, for which I have provided them an identity, a user account and password. And there are also guest accounts. Guest accounts are individuals that I have invited into my tenant to access resources in my tenant or to collaborate with my users. Let's take a look at how that's displayed inside of the Azure Active Directory Admin Center. So I'm going to click on Users, and under Users, I see all of my users, and you'll see here that it says Guest, and you'll see actually that the majority of my users are guests. And actually, I'm going to filter that list so that I'm going to be able to see only my member users in a minute. But first, I'm going to show you that guest users, again, these invited users that come from an external tenant, have their own identity. In this case here, it says multiple identity, which means that that user may have access to multiple tenants across Microsoft 365, Azure Active Directory tenants. So it has multiple identities. This user here only has one. So that user has been invited into my tenant. And you see here that there was an invitation that was sent to that user to collaborate inside of my tenant. So again, I would like to see my member users because those are the ones that I'm really going to manage. So I'm going to add here a filter, and I'm going to look for the user type filter. And I would like to have only users that are of member. So notice here, member or guest are my two types of users. And I'm going to click on apply. So now what I'm seeing is really just the user accounts in my tenant. So if I go down here and I'm going to pick a user here, Steve Smith, I'm going to click on Steve Smith, and Steve has a user account in my tenant. He is a member of groups. He has an email address in my Microsoft 365 tenant as well, and he is a user type member. So that's my Steve Smith user account. I can go ahead and look at his sign-ins. I can see what he's done in my tenant. I can add him to group, give him access to permissions, assign a role, an administrator role, as we've seen in another video in this course. And I can assign lots of different properties to Steve Smith, such as his department, his phone number, his address, and any information that will be relevant for me to manage, view, or collaborate with Steve as part of my organization. Every single user account that I see here is its own identity. It has a security identifier as part of my Azure Active Directory tenant. The security identifier is the underlying number or value that represents that user as part of my Azure Active Directory tenant. So it's a real person. It's a real entity inside of my Azure Active Directory tenant. If you also have a Microsoft 365 tenant where you have SharePoint Online and Exchange Online mailboxes and so on, this user account can also be associated with those entities in Microsoft 365. That user account, Steve Smith, may have a mailbox in Exchange. In fact, I know he does. Now, Steve has an email address under his user principal name that looks like a email address that you would find when you are exchanging emails with individuals on the internet. However, that doesn't really tell me that he has a mailbox. I would have to sign in to Microsoft 365 to see whether or not there is truly a mailbox that is associated with Steve. I know he has one because I've created it, but in order to see whether or not that user has that mailbox, you'd have to really go into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center and look at the Exchange properties to see if that user has been assigned a mailbox. So this is how I view my users inside of my Azure Active Directory Admin Center. Now, as I manage my users, and I can go ahead and create additional users, and we'll do that in another video in this course, you'll see that I end up with many, many different users. And I can actually perform bulk operations on those users. You can click on multiple users at the same time and then perform tasks on those users. As well, if you want to create a large number of users in a single operation, you can go here into bulk create, download a template CSV file, a comma separated value file, which you would just fill in. It's a simple text file where you would fill in with the names and the passwords for your users, or allow it to automatically generate password. And you can create hundreds of user accounts into your tenant very, very quickly using this method. You can also delete old user accounts using this same CSV bulk method. Or you can use the UI and just click on multiple mailboxes and then perform actions. If I want to delete those 3 users at once, I can select those checkboxes, click on delete, and they will be gone. The same is true for another action here, which is the action of MFA. If I want to enable users for multi-factor authentication, I can click on that checkbox, click on the button, and it will take me to a separate portal where I will enable MFA for those users. And we will be doing that in a later video in this course as well. So the Azure Active Directory Admin Center is really a useful tool for managing your identities. Again, I've mentioned that Entra will be the next generation of Azure Active Directory with slightly different user interface. We've looked at those user interface in another video in this course, but keep in mind that these are evolving very fast and may change from the moment that I've recorded this course until the moment that you look at those interfaces. There are 2 types of users that I can manage and implement as part of my Azure Active Directory. There are member users, entities that are inside of your Active Directory tenant, and there are guest users, users that you invite into your Azure Active Directory tenant in order to access resources and collaborate. So if I click on users on the Azure Active Directory Admin Center, I will see all of my users. But if I want to create new users, I will click here on new user, and I have the choice of creating a new member or inviting a guest user. So let's go ahead and create a new user. And even from here again, I have the ability to invite as well and switch to an invitation. If I click on create a new user, I'm going to provide a username to this user. Now, I mentioned earlier that all the usernames have an email address, or what looks like an email address. It's actually a user principal name that uses the same syntax as an email address. It's a combination of a username or the username prefix, and I can add to that any domain name that is available in my tenant. So these are actually domain names that have been added for my tenant that I can add as a suffix in my UPN, in my user principal name. So I'm going to give this user a name. So I'm going to call this user Mike. And a validation occurs to check that there is no other Mike in my tenant. And so this is Mike B, and that's his first name and his last name. And then I need to specify a password for Mike. So in order to generate that password for Mike, I can either let the system generate it, or I can create a password myself using my own syntax or template. So I'm going to let the system generate a secure password for the user. If you want to see what that generation looks like, if I click on show password, it's actually blurred out, but it's an alphanumeric value that's assigned to the password. That means the password policy for minimum character requirements and the types of characters that are required as well. That's part of my password policy. If I go down below, I can also add the user to a group. So there are many groups that I can create in my Azure AD, similarly to an on-prem AD where you can have many groups, and I can add that user to the group. Then I have a role. Now, you'll remember that we talked about RBAC role-based access control. Those are administrative roles. This user has a user role, basically meaning that that user has the ability to be a user. No administrative roles are assigned to that or associated to that, but simply to participate in the resources of the tenant. If I want, I can block sign-in for the users, as well as provide additional information or contact information for the user. Then I can click on Create. When I click Create, the user is created in my environment, and now Mike B has been created. If I search into my tenant, I will see that Mike B has been created. I don't see him just yet. It can take a few minutes for the user to actually be visible in the directory. So I'm actually going to refresh my page, wait a couple of minutes, and come back to it to verify that the user is here. So now I've waited a couple of minutes, then refreshed my browser, and through the magic of video editing, the next step is searching through for Mike, and I see now Mike B is one of my users that is available in my tenant, and we see here that Mike is a member user in my tenant.